Sport Diplomat with Tanner Simkins is proudly sponsored by Built, redefining hydration and performance. Today on Sport Diplomat, we visit with Bunntree. Bunntree is a film director, a music video director, a photographer, and an overall great content creator. My listeners know that I executive produce a lot of content myself, and in my early days of doing so, things like television shows, documentaries, music projects, you name it, I synced up with Bunntree, and our careers have blossomed ever since. Our relationship has grown. So when I started Sport Diplomat, he was one of my first targets for an interview within the directing hemisphere. I'm pleased to have him on the show, and without further ado, Bunntree. Hello and welcome to Sport Diplomat. Thank you, Bunntree, for being with us. I couldn't think of someone more suited for one of our first episodes than you, and all the great work you do in media and videos and productions. So thank you for coming on.
No, for sure. Like, hey, when you hit me, like I said, I'm honored, bro. I'm honored, and I love what you're doing in the space of sports, and your impact is being felt for sure.
Well, I'll tell a little quick story about you, and then I want to hear your background from you. You tell the people from your own words, but I always like to introduce the guests with a little story. So when I first got introduced to you, it was with a video shoot for a music video that I was doing, like with this artist that was out of location. Really, like,
we was at a corner store in the hood. Just
yeah, you say it. It's better than me. I didn't want to say anything improper, but deep in there. Like,
yeah.
And you pulled up on at the time you were riding a little motorbike, and you pulled up with all this.
Man, it was a scooter, man. I think I got that scooter for like $200, man.
This is in our early days, and you came up with all your gear on your back. I'm like, oh man, that's a hustler. And when you came, you were like, I think the second shooter on scene, like you weren't the primary, but you took over, and your images and stuff, I got back sooner, and they were more quality than the main guy. And then after that, I've been rocking with you ever since, and I it's been years since then. We've been working together about 5-6 years, doing some projects on the side. And during that process, I come to learn, didn't even know this, that you were a scholarship football player at Wisconsin.
Yeah, we played, man. Well, more my legacy more is in Broward County, because those days ain't really go the way it needed to. But like I played football through the South Florida Football League, Lauderhill Lions, played at Dillard High School, also Tamarack Cougars, Piper High School. So most people will remember me from those days playing running back and playing both ways, linebacker. Like the college football stuff my football career didn't go. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know.
But blessing in disguise, though, because that's around the time when you found video stuff, right?
Right. So actually, at Piper High School, I was enrolled into, like, how you have electives in high school?
Sure.
One of my electives was a TV production. That's actually where I met my fiance. Like, it's crazy because I like that teacher, me and him still in contact today. But that's how I don't want to say how, well, I'll say that's how I got introduced to it. And it wasn't until after the football and stuff was over with that I realized, like, I can make money from this. And just to make a long story short, but it's a very interesting story. When I came back home from school, it was more of a, figure it out moment. Like, what are you going to do? So I ended up getting a job, and I was working at the security gate for a neighborhood. And Rick Ross actually lived in that neighborhood. Rick Ross is like my favorite artist to this day, but especially back then, And so, like, I'm just like, wow, like I'm seeing the nice cars come through, and I'm just like, man, I gotta do something, man. Gotta do something. I kept saying it. So I started a company where I made natural products. Like, I made candles, I made soaps, lip balm, stuff like that. And I was like, well, in order to get your business where you need it to be, you need to take pictures of some of your products.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking the pictures on my phone. It's funny, like I'll send it to you when we get off. Like I'm literally like in the booth. I'm using like the aesthetic of the neighborhood, like for my lip balms and stuff like that. And then one day, like I asked my mom, I'm like, she asked me what I want for my birthday. I was like, you should get me a camera, like, so I could take pictures of, my products. And in between like that time and my birthday, a friend from Wisconsin, he put his camera in my hand, and I got to playing with the focus, and I was like, whoa, like this look way better than my iPhone, Like,
yeah.
So like now I'm really hyped. I really want to get a camera. My mom bought me that camera, and I promise you, I had like tears of joy. Like
That's
I think
nice.
she spent like $500 on that camera, and I cried all the way home. Like, and she was
That's
like, "What
nice.
are you crying for?" Like, but honestly, now it's like this is what I was crying for. I built like something great off of that one camera, and the beautiful part about me even saying this right now is I was able to I just gave that same camera my mom bought me to like a 9-year-old from Tampa. They drove all the way down here, and I gave them a camera, the lens, 2 lenses actually, batteries, memory cards, and it just felt like a blessing. Like it also felt like the end of that era. Like I'm no longer like trying to make it. Like I'm here now,
Sure.
So being able to give that camera away and let him build his legacy with it, it's like, man, like I can't even, like
Yeah, that's very
can't make
special.
this up, man.
Yeah, paying it forward. That's very nice.
Right.
I hear you being so modest. You're being so humble. Open up a little bit. Tell the people where they can find your stuff, the type of work you do, the type of artists that you work with. You do so much more than just music videos, but you've done some huge videos. So just brag a little bit so people who don't know you can learn a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's easier for me to brag on the personal level because those are the things that matter to me most. Like, I'd rather brag that my son has a bunk bed and he's 2 years old and he sleeps on a full-size bed, not a toddler bed. Those are my flexes. Like some of the things that like my accomplishments in as far as this industry, it's kind of weird because a lot of the things I do is for people. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I never like look at it like that's mine. Like, so if I shot, like, for example, I shot the Spot 'em Got 'em beatbox, and it's a crazy story behind that, but I look at it like that's his. I had a great opportunity to be a part of that, So more the things that kind of get my juices going is my projects. For example, right now, hopefully by the end of the year, because I submitted it a little too late, but hopefully by the end of the year, I have a bike life documentary that I filmed, and it's it's like a Orlando Broward type.
Oh yeah, Orlando. I was like, what are you talking about? Orlando? Broward's the center for all that.
Right, but it's crazy because I met with like an older guy in Orlando, and I got some of the younger guys in Broward.
That's smart.
And then we kind of mashed it together, and then you could kind of see the polarity and see the difference between Orlando and down south. I have that. I have a documentary that hopefully is coming out on the 1st of October with the artist D. Watkins. It's about his neighborhood and coming into the music industry. As we speak, I'm working with FCG Heen. We got a documentary called Shallow Side Baby. That's we literally probably need like one more interview and then we'll get to the post processing. So those are the things that make me excited because those are my projects. Those are things that I reached out to people and said, let's do this and use my relationships. But as far as like accomplishments in the industry, it's like I literally just let it go over my head. I just let it just keep working, Like,
and I'll add too that I've seen just from being a follower of your work and following the growth of Bunntree Productions, is a lot of the big stuff that you're attached to, you go uncredited.
oh yeah.
And that's rare in especially the music and entertainment space, where the directors, they try to, like, I don't want to say, it's just a different model. I like your model so much more because there's another type of director that's all about their ego and their own brand, and they try to make it their video as opposed to the artist's video.
Right.
I much prefer your style, and I think that's why we've gotten along and done so much projects over the years, because you get yours, you're taking care of monetarily, you get your business right, but you don't have to be watermarked all over the video and all this other stuff.
Right. But yeah, so like I said, well, the best way I could explain that is because I think I came in the time, let's just use like the music industry, for instance. Like nowadays, these dudes can make a Thriller video and get on Instagram and get 100,000 views. But back then they had the pass out CDs and put up flyers and stuff like that. So I come from that era of this grind, you know what I'm saying? This industry. I come from like, you got to put in that groundwork. Now you can just meet an artist if he popping enough, like you shoot his video, you good. So I understand real life. So the relationship like me and you have, that's real life. And those are things that is more important to me than like what Tanner could do for me. It's more about, hey, how's Sienna doing, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we both are going somewhere and I want to meet you there.
Sure.
When we get there, I don't want you to be like,
we're close. We're close.
Man, I work with this dude. All he cares about is, you know what I'm saying? It's more about the personal relationship that we build. It's more about just enjoying life and being happy and using the camera as an outlet to that happiness. It's not about ego. It's not about flex. It's not about what I did and didn't do. It's not about who better. It's literally just about me and the people that I meet through my creativity. You see what I'm saying? So yes. You are 100% right about that. Like, that's how the industry is, but I don't want it to be no other way, because guess what? You see right through that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true. I think it almost becomes a bigger flex with the right person or the right client. Right. They understand that you're not about gimmicks and tricks. So they see your portfolio and then it's like, oh, you're low key doing it. Like it's more impressive.
It hit different. There you go. It just hits a little different when it's like, wait, you did this and that and this and that too. And that. And I'm still humble and still personable, and I'm still living in real life. Like,
it's kind of like the artists. Tell me if this is a good comparison or not. It's kind of like a lot of the artists who, when they're first kind of coming up and the glow up and all that, they start wearing all the heavy jewelry and the bling. And then when you see these like superstars, they very rarely are all.
Yeah, they probably have like a nice watch.
Yeah, they tone it down.
Something like that. Yeah. That's a great way to put it, because you start to put things in perspective. It's like, that shit is like, yesterday is gone, man. Like, it's over with. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of that stuff that comes with the game, and that's what gets you to where you need to be. But at the end of the day, you have to know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And once you know what you want, you'll be just fine. You see what I'm saying? So I think that what you're saying is 100% right, because these people get to a certain level and they realize, this is what I want. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, I could take all of this stuff off now. Like, I didn't need all of this to be who, you know what I'm saying? Like, who I want to be, you know? Mm-hmm. So
I got a couple quick ones. I want you to answer quick. Just whatever comes to mind, okay?
All right.
Editing or shooting?
Like, what do I prefer? All right, I'm gonna say can I touch on both of them?
Sure. Okay. Quick though.
Right,
That's the idea. I got a couple I want to rattle off.
All right, I'm gonna make it quick. Shooting, I love shooting because I love like being with people and talking, and I like that's my confirmation. Like I like when somebody grab my camera and say, "Duh." And then editing, because it's like I love being in my little office and just chilling and put my seat back and be like, man, I'm that, So
okay, nice. For the cameras, DSLR or mirrorless?
Definitely mirrorless. That's not even a question. I don't think I ever used it. Yeah, I did. I'm lying, but yeah.
All right, but for the software, Adobe or one of these other ones?
Or Adobe Premiere for sure.
I don't even know the other names.
Yeah, the Final Cut and all. No, Adobe. I'm an Adobe guy.
Okay, all right. Now, you prefer doing a music video project or something like a private gig?
I like doing personal projects, I should say. Like
documentaries, like a documentary.
Right, things that come to my mind. Music videos are like they're fun, but like I said, that's more for the artists,
Mm-hmm. All right, Bunntree, I appreciate you coming on to Sport Diplomat. Like I said before we started recording with the podcast, sport and diplomat, those are just branding words. We use them very loosely. It's really a storytelling podcast about people just like yourselves who use their position in media and entertainment to open more doors for them. And I really couldn't have thought of a better person in the video directing space than you. I've loved working with you over the years, and I think you have a really bright future. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Hold on, wait, before we go, man, because Tanner is being humble with you guys. When y'all get a chance, if y'all really want to know who Tanner is. Hey, thanks for everything over the years, man. The friendship we built and the relationship we got right now, I love it, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
I'm honored to be able to come on here, and I hope this takes off, man. Whatever you need from me, let me know, man. For sure. All right. Call me later, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.